Thank you for joining us for another episode of Go Fort Smith, sponsored by J. Pauley Toyota. As we settle into what may be the new normal, let's visit some local organizations that provide heartwarming services and creative ideas for children, adults, and families to enjoy from a distance. As child abuse cases continue to increase, a local nonprofit, the Hamilton House in Fort Smith, provides solace to children who are suspected victims of physical and sexual abuse. Let's go inside and visit with the staff for more information.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 11 years old. I was scared. While my mom was at work, I had to spend a lot of time at home with her boyfriend. He kind of acted like he was my dad, but when my mom went to work, he touched me in places that made me feel weird, and he hurt my body a lot. I hated being around him. I asked him to stop, but he wouldn't. He just kept hurting me over and over. Several months later, my mom thought I looked pregnant. She lied to my teacher and said I was having boys sneak into my room. My teacher was worried about me and called the child abuse hotline, just to make sure I was okay. The police made an appointment for me at the Hamilton House.
Once we're notified of the allegations that are being made, we call up here, we set up the appointment, either have the parents bring the child here, or we'll bring them here if we need to. Once the children are here, they're put in a safe environment. It's very kid-friendly, lots of toys, games, and things like that helps relax the children. From there, our trained forensic interviewers will take the children to a private room where they start to talk to them, and we're in a completely separate room where we observe the interaction between them.
A really nice lady said she was my advocate. We followed her to the waiting room. Next, my advocate introduced me to the lady who would be doing my interview.
I'm an advocate here at Hamilton House. So I meet the kids, the families at the door, and walk them through the process of what we do here. I walk them from the door to the playroom. I go through some consent paperwork with them that we go through with the parent or the guardian that brings the child in. Just try to make them at ease. Sometimes they don't know why they're here completely and they're a little bit confused, and so I just try to be an advocate for the family, the children, make them comfortable, help them understand what we do here, and walk them through the steps of Hamilton House.
I was nervous and scared at first, but then I opened up and told her everything that had been happening at home.
As a forensic interviewer, I do a training. All of our interviewers do a training that gets certified with a Child First protocol, and as an interviewer, we go and get the child from the family room. I introduce myself and tell them what my job is, and then I'm the one that's going to be talking to them today. I take them into the interview room where it's a very neutral base location, and we make them feel very comfortable and all about the child. We're patient with them, let them know that if at any time they have a question, they can ask us. If they need a break or they need to pause at any time, it's all about them. So listening to them. My job is just to listen to the child and have them, provide them with a safe location where they can share their story.
After my interview, it was time for my checkup. The nurse let my advocate come with me so I would feel more comfortable. It was a little weird, but they were patient with me until I was ready.
So I'm a forensic nurse here at Hamilton House, and my job is to evaluate kids. We do forensic medical exams on them just to check them out and make sure that they're okay if there's been any kind of allegations or disclosure of sexual abuse. I bring them to my medical room after collecting a history with the family, and just check them over. I'm looking for any kind of injuries. I can document bruises, abrasions. I'm looking for any kind of signs and symptoms of sexual abuse. We can do STD testing while we're here. Sometimes I do evidence collection for law enforcement. And occasionally we do have to go to court to testify in these cases. We do have Children's Hospital linked to us, and if I have any kind of problems or any kind of questions on something I see on an exam, I can just have them look on a server and we can just email back and forth, and that way we're all on the same page.
After the checkup, I was done. While the police talked to my mom, I got to paint my hand and put my handprint on the wall and got a goodie bag with lots of cool stuff.
Usually when we first meet the children, they're very apprehensive to talk. However, once we get them here and they see kind of this kind of the warm family environment here, the kids relax. You know, it's not uncommon to have the children come in here and being real scared and timid, but by the time it's all over with, they don't want to leave. I mean, it's a fun place and they just as soon stay here as go home.